a unique situation right now, man. You got a guy that's been red hot, Trey Reynolds, and then you got your guys coming back, this week to practice. Just talk about this situation. Is that a good problem to have, I guess, in that sense?
Oh, without a doubt, man. You got more horses in the stable. And that's one thing about our room. They all support each other. So, they've been big fans of Craig, Jamal and Swift, of course, while he was out there doing his thing. Now, getting some of the guys back, just getting the right rotation, right, is where you got to kind of make sure you sink your teeth in. So that's what we're doing now.
What's the competitive nature between that, though? When you, a guy like Swift, a guy like Williams that's kind of established, and you got this guy coming in, is that heighten the competitiveness a little bit between those guys?
Yeah, not just those three, though. It's the whole group. And that's what I expect from the group. So we talked about this way back in OTAs, training camp, just the mentality that you bring to practice each and every day. And if you want to be the best or one of the best, considered one of the best in the league, you got to be considered one of the best in the room. It doesn't work any other way. So, and those guys know that. And it's a big challenge in the room that we have when it comes to competition. It could be competition in the room. It could be competition out on the field. But we're always competing to be number one.
A couple of weeks ago, I brought up Godwin to you in the 2-minute drive, the way he picked up his feet and he remembered your coaching points. So, put the ball on the ground 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I know the one was out of bounds, but still, the security wasn't there. Aylin said you've been really working on him with some of the fundamentals. What are the coaching points for Godwin? Because he's still a young running back. So what do you have to work on this week?
It's traffic. I think it starts with the film. Being able to show him what he's doing in traffic, versus being out there one-on-one with a DB or a safety. Traffic is different. And, the last couple times when you look at the film, the defender was able to put the helmet on the ball. Now, to that point, he has to cover it up. He has to apply those points of pressure. And he'll be the first to tell you he didn't. So, once again, I'm going back. I'm looking at how I'm teaching them. I'll start with me. What I'm teaching them and how I'm teaching them. I go back and evaluate that and just make sure I'm doing the right thing. And he understands. He understands the one thing when it comes to fumbling like that, and I've been in those shoes, you never want to take the sting away, So you gotta make sure you nail the point, but also keep the fire in them, So that's what I'm doing right now.
Duce, the offense has played a lot better the last few weeks. People are trying to figure out why that is, if it's Dan calling plays or this or that. I'm just curious to know the offense is playing better. It's coinciding with Taylor Decker coming back to the field. I'm curious how you've seen Taylor's return affecting the offense generally, especially the running game specifically. Just having that guy out there with the man on the other side.
Oh, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Taylor is definitely a talented guy that brings a lot to the table. And those guys feed off him. Those guys see him out there working hard and going out there and just taking the extra steps after practice to go perfect his craft, and it shows up on film. So when you got a bunch of young guys in the room that's looking up to a guy like that, and he's out there working his butt off and showing them how to do it, it's contagious, and that's what you want. So bringing him back and getting him in that nucleus, being able to run behind him and being able to, launch the ball down the field, having a little more time back there is good.
I'm curious what Craig is like in the meeting rooms and the practice field. So we've talked to him twice at the podium after these last 2 performances, and it's real level. It just doesn't seem like he has any highs or lows, doesn't get too excited. I'm just curious, is he always that real even-keeled level personality on the field?
Yeah, he's about business. He's about business, and every opportunity that he gets, you can tell that he studies, for one. You can tell that he asks the right questions. And one of the things that I like about him is he pulls me to the side, no matter if it's practice or no matter if it's after a meeting, and he said, Coach, I want to make sure I got this right. So that tells you right there he's a serious note taker. And, we got ways of checking notes in our room. So it's funny, I share this with you. We got you remember those old school pens that got all the colors in it? Yeah. So I was a terrible note taker in college, so go ahead and just confess. process, all right? But as I grabbed one of those old school pens with all the colors, I was able to find out what I needed to get to on that page. How many of you have taken notes and you know you wrote it down, but you can't find it? Well, my paper may look like a Christmas tree from that pen, but I know exactly what I was saying. So, for example, red is for running game, black is for blocking, green is for passing game. So they think it's really for them, but it's for me when I walk around and look over their shoulder so I can see. So it's a little trick I play on them, but I guess you got to be there to see it.
So when you know, with the gallery print, when you know it's not a flash in the pan and it's real?
Say it again, I can't.
When you know with the gallery print, it's not a flash in the pan, it's not, just something that's gonna flicker away, and when it's the real deal? When do you know a guy's turned the corner and he's the real deal?
Well, and I don't know what you call the real deal.
Sustainable success.
All right, well, he's been doing that in practice. Start with practice first. That's when you start opening your eyes. You start paying attention to a guy like that who's finishing every run, who's hitting the holes, who's catching the balls, who's running behind his linemen and screens. And it's all the little things. In order to have success, no matter what type of player you are on this level, you got to do the little things right. So that's what he's doing, and he knows that. There's no doubt in my mind that Craig can play on this level, and he showed it. And there's no doubt in my mind that Craig can play on this level for a long time.